All right, so this is one of those games everyone waits for. Patriots versus Broncos, AFC Championship, big stage, big pressure, and a lot of strong opinions flying around. In this video, we're reacting to what's being said about the matchup, the quarterbacks, and which side really has the edge. Stick around till the end. And if you enjoy this kind of NFL talk, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Games like this,
Well, that's what the NFL football is about.
these are the type of games we dream of.
Listen, it's nothing but football left. We put the work in. No confusion how we got right here.
I believe in our defense. They do it every week.
Ain't nobody like us. Ain't nobody believe in us. I like us, man.
This will be the sixth matchup between the Patriots and the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. Denver has a 4-1 record against the Pats in the AFC title game. In the regular season, the Patriots offense and Broncos defense were both strong units, both ranked in the top 3 in points per game, yards per game, and yards per play. So who's going to have the edge on Sunday? Is it Drake May and that New England offense, which has struggled, or Denver's defense? Ryan Clark?
I think the Broncos defense has the edge this Sunday. But I also know that Drake May and Josh McDaniels and Ramondre Stevenson will find ways to make plays. In my opinion, Ramondre Stevenson has to be a huge part of this game. There was someone they moved away from during this season. Early on, fumbles, had some injuries in the middle of the season. He averaged 5.3 yards a carry in the first week of the playoffs. He had 75 yards receiving. And the way he salted the game away against the Houston Texans was huge. Coming into this game, you know you have a Will Campbell problem. You know that he can't stand in front of Nick Bonito this entire weekend or this entire Sunday and block him. How do you fix that? How do you negate that? What does Josh McDaniels do a time? You also know the shot plays that you were taking to both sides of the field against the Houston Texans only go to one place this week, and that's Riley Moss. And so, in my opinion, the Denver Broncos have the edge, but a smart game plan, a game plan that's specific, will allow you to make enough plays, because the one unit that has been underrated, that has been disrespected and not talked about enough in this playoffs is the New England Patriots defense. So I don't believe you have to go out and put up 30 points in order to win this game.
Mina?
Yeah, it's the Patriots for me, and it's not a massive advantage. I think this is a great matchup, but the playoffs are all about matchups. And when I look at this one between New England and Denver, I see a lot of ways that I do think New England can move the ball on them. First of all, I'll say this. You mentioned the Patriots offense hasn't been lighting the world on fire. They have faced a gauntlet, and they just faced a more difficult defense, frankly, the Houston Texans, and found a way to move the ball on them. As far as the Broncos defense, we know that they love to play man coverage. We know that they love to blitz. Drake May, first in QBR against the blitz. You saw that, by the way, the last round when he hit Diggs, of course, or Douglas, pardon me, for the touchdown. Second in QBR against man coverage. I think as far as Denver goes,
Up to this point, what really stands out to me is how much respect people are giving to the Patriots offense, even though it hasn't been explosive. The way they talk about Drake May is interesting, because nobody is saying he has to be perfect or throw for 400 yards. It's more about being smart, quick decisions, and using Stevenson out of the backfield. I also agree that Denver's defense is scary, but it does feel like people are pointing out real weaknesses, especially against quick passes and linebackers in coverage.
and we saw this in the Buffalo game, while they're a very good defense with a very terrifying pass rush, there's vulnerabilities. Quick game is something where their numbers dropped off over the course of the year. Attacking the linebackers. Ryan, you mentioned Stevenson. I love him as a pass catcher in this one. And you saw the Bills find ways to take advantage of the backers in coverage, stretch them side to side. So I don't think Drake May has to light the world on fire, quite frankly. I don't think he has to be super explosive for them to move the ball in Denver. He needs to be efficient and smart. And I think the combination of him and Josh McDaniels can do that.
Patriots offense for me, all the things that you guys said, I completely agree. I think the starting point problem for the Broncos defense, very good unit, who covers Steph. I don't think, and this is a little bit coming off of last weekend, which I have ridiculous amounts of respect for Houston's defense and New England's defense. New England's defense, very good, I agree, underrated. Watching the New England receivers relatively consistently win against that secondary in Houston got my attention more than I probably gave it going into that game. I don't know who Denver says you're covering Steph. Steph this year has become as consistent and as go-to a receiver that we have in the NFL. JSN and Puka, yes, but when we're talking about a quarterback just throwing the ball to one receiver, it's as good a connection. I think Drake May was 86 for 103 this year throwing the ball to Stephon Diggs. That's almost instant. That's almost unstoppable. So if you're Denver and you go, Surtain, you got Steph, I don't know how you cover Booty then, because I don't think Booty is a good matchup for Riley Moss, just from the physical ability down the field, and we saw it last week versus one of the best corners in football in Stingley.
I can agree with you there, Dan, although I would tell you it's a toss-up, it's a close call, but I'll go with the Pats offense as the answer to this question. Why do I feel that way? Because I expect Drake May and the New England Patriots offense to get a whole bunch of cracks at the apple. That's why. That's exactly why. That's exactly why I feel that way. Because they're going up, because New England's defense is going up against a backup that hasn't thrown the football since 2023. That's why, okay? So you'll have more bites at the apple. I am not oblivious to the fact that Drake May in 2 postseason games, since Mina want to bring up Matthew Stafford and how he's looked in the postseason. Drake May does have 10 sacks. He's been sacked 5 times
against the Chargers and the Texans, Stephen A.
Here's where things get more real for me. The conversation about Drake May's turnovers and sacks is fair. You can't just ignore 10 sacks and multiple fumbles, even if he's young, at the same time. Comparing him to veterans like Stafford shows how high the expectations already are. I also think the point about Denver possibly starting a backup quarterback matters a lot. That alone could flip the entire game script and give New England way more chances on offense.
Are those the same as the Panthers and the Bears?
I'm sorry, Mina. Are you interrupting me? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I mean, because I got some points to get out here, okay? I got some points to get out here, Mina, the great Mina Kimes. The deal is Drake May, an MVP candidate, okay, one of the finalists for it, you okay, with what is it, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen. I understand that, but 59% completions, 2 interceptions, 6 fumbles, 3 losses. Got to hold on to football now. And been sacked 10 times, all right? And it's got 5 total turnovers in the 2 games. So how is it that we going to bring up Matthew Stafford and our concerns about him, but we ain't going to bring it up about the second-year quarterback, okay, for the New England Patriots? If fair is fair. Having said that, I still believe with Vrabel and the crew and how good their defense is that they find a way, because I don't expect a backup hasn't thrown a pass since 2023 to be flinging the football all over the field, moving the chains, and keeping the minimal opportunities for the Patriots offense. I expect Drake May to have an abundance of bites at the apple, and that's why the Pats offense is the answer to that question.
I just want to take a moment to refute the whole, Drake May and the Patriots faced an easy schedule going to the postseason. The Chargers and the Texans and the Broncos is a freaking gauntlet on defense. Imagine if they get the freaking Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Yeah. There are 2 sides to the ball. I hate it when we talk about schedule, we ignore the fact that you can face a bad offense and a great defense. What this young man has had to face in the postseason has been enormously difficult. That continues this weekend. I think he rises to the challenge, though.
I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that, Mina. Like, obviously, 2 great defenses. And the counterpoint would be, they've also played against 2 offenses and, candidly, 2 quarterbacks that have just fell flat. Justin Herbert was bad, and CJ was bad. Yes. So their defense, and that's a little bit of, like, the reality, too. Like, the defense is bald. Yeah. We haven't seen the defense go up against an offense.
Totally agree.
And guess what? They ain't this week either.
Correct.
So that's the other side of it. I just think, though, when you lose Bo Nix, the conversations that Vance Joseph and Nick Bonito and Talanoa Hufanga, Patrick Surtain II. These conversations are different. The sense of urgency is different. And when you look at Jaquan McMillan, who will be matched up against Stephon Diggs many times in the slot, that's not a bad matchup for the Denver Broncos. I think we're looking at some of these pieces on the roster of the New England Patriots and putting them in a little higher esteem because of what we saw last week when they got multiple opportunities to get the football. That's a team that was only up 21-16 in the fourth quarter after having 4 interceptions in the first half.
And it took a one-hander, too.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Patriots are 0-4 when playing in Denver in the playoffs. Just throwing that out there. Coming up on First Take, my Bears.
The Broncos?
Surpass what we all were expecting from them. So next season, will they finally break through, or are they going to start?
So when you put everything together, this really feels like a chess match more than a shootout. Denver has the defensive edge on paper, but the Patriots seem to have more paths to winning, especially if Drake May protects the ball and the defense keeps doing its job. Nothing about this game feels one-sided, and that's what makes it exciting. If Drake May rises to the moment, this could be a defining game for his career. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who has the real edge here? And if you enjoyed this reaction, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL content.